A lot of people won't experience it till they croak. They've given birth to it. Their source became it, but they're holding themselves vibrationally apart from it because they're still doing too much of the step one work, knowing what I don't want work. But when you really get the fullness of that which is you, then you can begin reveling in your moments. It's fun interacting with you because you, even as individuals, are at various stages of allowing and resisting. In other words, sometimes you're in a moment where you are really allowing the fullness of who you are, and sometimes you're not. And we want you to understand that it doesn't matter whether you are or are not completely allowing the fullness of who you are in any moment, because there's always another moment in which you can do that. We want you to remember that the source within you is always focused upon the solution. Always focused upon the solution. So anytime you're asking the question again or focused upon the problem again, you are separating yourself to some degree from the solution that is already solutioned. In other words, it's already done. There will be a lot of new words today. Write them all down. After all, this is the leading edge. That old dictionary, past tense. So when you start utilizing the contrast of your physical life in the way that you really meant to, in this open-ended, eagerly and willing to participate in life at its fullest, out here on the leading edge, leading edge, on the leading edge, on the bloody leading edge. When you're out here on this leading edge, you're going to be offering a tremendous amount of expansion all day, every day. Every moment is producing some of it for you. And the better you keep up with it, the better you feel. But if you don't keep up with it, there's just going to be a joyous reunion when you do keep up with it. In other words, the solution feels good no matter when it comes. And you have the ability to always find the solution. You're calling the shots here. In other words, you are the creator of your experience. You are the creator of your experience. And you have so much resourceful source backup. You have the energy that creates worlds pouring through you, but you've got to be in a vibrational place that allows it to flow to you and through you in order for that to happen. So now you know everything we know. Have a very nice day. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. In the spirit of time, never look back, 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 because everything is forward, everything's in the vortex. That's who you are. And when you look back, you deprive yourself of who you are, and it doesn't feel good. And when you look back, you're defending, you're justifying, you're explaining, you're probing. In other words, the now is the richness. It's this now here-ness. We began last Sunday in Seattle by saying, we are extremely pleased that you are here. And we want to help you to feel the bigness of the here-ness, because here means the convergence of all that you are. And here, this powerful now where you meet you is all any of us have. But the thing that you are helping us to emphasize that is really a new leading edge understanding that you're resonating with is that when you are here in your physical bodies, in this time-space reality, in this room, having this conversation, and you are resonating in vibrational accord with the wholeness of who you are, then you allow who you are to be here with you too, no separation, no deprivation, here with you. And that's when you are feeling the fullness of who you are. That's the way life is supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel really, really, really brilliant. You are. You're supposed to feel really, really, really adored. That's who you are. You're supposed to feel appreciation for each and everything that you focus upon. And when you look out into a diverse world, there's plenty that you can find not to appreciate on. Don't look too long there. Because when you look too long there, it sucks you out of the vortex, or really the vortex can't hold you when you do that. When you have that nagging discomfort, you've just got to know, especially in the context of what we were just saying, that what that means is you have, by virtue of what you're focused upon, activated a vibration that is in disagreement with the source within you. So we want to say to you that every time for the rest of your life that you focus upon something that you don't want, And there are few things that you don't want more than you don't want that. When something really, really matters to you and you focus upon the opposite of it, you're going to feel far more than a nagging feeling. You know what that nagging is? It's us saying, you're not letting us in. In other words, it's us nagging you. You're in a vibrational place which you have the free will to be in. You have the right to focus upon the exact opposite of each and everything in the world you want. You can start following conspiracy theories. You can start talking about economic doom and gloom. You can start looking at the corruption in government and the corruption in politics. It's not really exactly the same thing, and sort of, kind of, but not really.
Close,
and the corruption in medicine, and the corruption in religion, and the corruption in religion, and the corruption in religion, the corruption in religion. You can focus upon any of those things, and you have the free will to do it, and the focus to do it, and the brilliance to do it, and the background to do it, and plenty of other people that will love to do it with you. But every single time you do that, you're going to mess up your relationship with your source, because your source won't go there. And what's really interesting is, as life has been moving, your life, and you've been worried and therefore asking, and worried and therefore asking, who your inner being is and what your inner being knows about this specific subject is really, really, really evolved. So that's why it gets worse instead of better if you don't figure out what you're doing and just go to the vortex where the worry doesn't exist. Because the longer you live, the more you ask, and the more you ask, the more you have to keep up, and the more you don't keep up, the worse you feel, you see. So sometimes people want us to say there's nothing to worry about, and there ultimately really is nothing ever to worry about. But we tease you when you ask us to pronounce you in a position where you don't need to worry, because that's not different from wanting a manifestation that makes you feel better. When you are dependent upon the in the moment change or manifestation of reality to feel good, as you go to the doctor and you get a confirmation that all is well for now. So as you get that in the moment confirmation that all is well, then that's a feeling response in response to the manifestation that you want. And so to ask anyone to give you reassurance is like asking for a manifestation to give you the reason to feel good, and it's backwards. Being in the vortex and aligning with the vortex is the solution that you are always looking for, period. It is the solution that you're always looking for. And you have the ability to go there now. You said you've been listening to us for a while. Do you believe that you are an extension of source energy? That's what we were talking about that worthiness feeling. So are you saying that no matter how much you focus and how much your focus affects your manifested reality, that still there is always a doubt that there's something that you will not be able to affect? Or that there is some other reason that it's being affected that has nothing to do with you? In other words, so my thought is, maybe it's possible that I don't really create my own reality. Maybe it's possible that I have no control whatsoever, and that someone else is calling the shots, and that bad things are just going to keep happening to me, and that life sucks and then you die. And we say, you're having clues. You're having clues. That discomfort that you're feeling is the source within you saying, it isn't that way, it isn't that way, it isn't that way, it isn't this way. Come over here with us and know what you know. Be who you are, be all that you are. Allow the fullness of who you are. Let life breathe into you. Let love breathe into you. Everything's all right. It's getting better and better and better and better and better. And so don't you think it's nice when you can have some experiences where you're having some discomfort and you are able to bring yourself into alignment with who you are and what you really know, and feel the ease of that knowing, you see. There is nothing more delicious than to find a moment where, just a moment, where you know what you really know. Sweet relief when you know in this moment what you really know. And agony when in any moment you don't let yourself know what you know. And so we don't want you to be dependent on us to know what we know and to just keep talking about what we know so that you can hear what we know and what we know and what we know until you know it. But that's sort of what influence is what upliftment is. When we know what we know so unequivocally, and we know it as we're visiting with you so unequivocally, and we see who you are and where you're going unequivocally, it makes you know it too. But we can't know it so much that we can come over where you are and know it for you. You have to make the leap, you see. And that's what true creation is. That's where all the freedom is. Until you really know that, you're not free. Do you know how many people stand in dread fear of the very thing that you're talking about? Almost everyone is in some stage of resistance about that subject. And it really is time to get over it. It's time to take control of how you feel, regardless of the condition. And when you do, the condition will change every time. And the world will stand in amazement at what you have accomplished, because the world, for the most part, does not know that. Does not know that at all. There is a new physician that Jerry and Esther met recently, who came out to the house and visited, because Jerry and Esther are moving back out to Del Mar, and so the doctors who have been playing with him are going to be different now. And so one of these lovely men came and visited with them as they were getting ready to make their transition back to California. And he said to them, you know, I felt something when I met the two of you that I can't really explain. He said there was an energy. He is a man from India, so he sort of gets that sort of thing. He said, there is an energy about the two of you, and there was upheaval in my life experience. In fact, the day after he met them, he stopped doing what he was doing temporarily, left the facility where he was practicing and went somewhere else, went nowhere else temporarily. And he said, and so I got on your website, and I began reading, and I ordered your books, and I want you to know that I think I knew this, but I didn't really know this. He said, I'm going to start integrating this into my work. And Esther looked at Jerry and said, are we really wondering what this is about when we hear things like that? Because for years, Jerry's been asking the question that you're asking, a very pointed and powerful question. Why aren't they looking for causes? Because until we find the vibrational cause of something, we're nowhere. We're nowhere. The resistance just squirts out in another way and another way and another way and another way. Can't you feel the power of asking a question that is so big and all of the cooperative components coming into place? Because it's time for this physical world to free themselves of the bondage of the fear of what they think is uncontrollable relative to their physical body. Look at you. You could not be a healthier being. Everything about you is radiating well-being, and still, with all of this robust wellness, you are pinching off the power of your moment because of the possibility of what could come one day. And we say, give it up. Give it up. Start claiming the nowness of your well-being. Claim the well-being of your nowness. Claim the alignment with who you are. And we so want to convince you, and of course we can't, because it's a thing that you have to find your own convincing about. We just know it, and we know it so much that you can find your knowing if you care about how you feel. We just know that you have the ability, thought by thought, to come into full alignment with that knowing of who you are, and nothing less than that will ever feel good. You got no choice. You got to come into alignment with all you know, or you can't feel good. Period. Period, 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 period. These emotional manifestations are all you have to reach for. An emotional manifestation now, then now, then now, then now, then now. And as you line up with who you really are now, and who you really are now, and who you really are now, and who you really are now, in that alignment, in that resourcefulness, in that balance of well-being, the manifestation has to follow that alignment. It just has to follow that alignment. It's law. It's law. We want to offer to all of you our appreciation for that which you are. This has been a very exhilarating experience for us. And you have been magnificently cooperative components to this leading edge of thought. Did you feel it? Did you feel yourself moving into new places of insight? And do you feel more at one with where you are? That is the most important thing that we are wanting you to take away.